We're back with another episode. We're back with another episode of Britt Says. And how are you guys doing? I hope you guys had an amazing last week. And you're definitely going to have an amazing this week. And yeah. So, how was my week? My week was cool. Very chill, you know. I'm just learning how to maneuver, learning how to wake up in the morning, you know. It's been good though. I enjoy like having a routine. I have to walk a lot, you know, lately because, you know, I have to park really far from my job. So I've been walking a lot. I enjoy that. I get to go outside every day. So I'm really happy about that. I've been super chill, super relaxed. Me and my man, we suck when it comes to dinner now because we both work. So he been ordering food and I told you I don't like takeout food. I just don't like it. I have been making myself lunch, but my lunch be mad chill. It'll be like a chicken salad or like just air fried baked chicken and maybe like rice and some sweet peas or whatever, like simple shit. But today I claim after I filmed Britt Says or whatever the case may be, I am going to do it. What time do the supermarket close? I know Food Bazaar closed at like 10, but I wonder what time Wegmans closed. I do both, you feel me? Because Food Bazaar got a lot of options, and then Wegmans got a lot of good quality. You know, quality over quantity sometimes, bitch. We're going to talk about that, though. Later on. Well, not in this episode, but I'm just saying. But anyway, moving on. So I want to cook like it's Thanksgiving, bitch. I want to cook like, do it like it's my B-Day, and just have mad food. So I'm going to try to like buy groceries and cook like abundance of food like it's Thanksgiving. Maybe not like it's Thanksgiving. Maybe enough food to last for the week so I could bring some to lunch, eat some for dinner, and etc. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And yes, I'm gonna be doing that up until night. I slept in, bitch. I slept in. I went to bed early, but I did wake up in the middle of the night a little bit. So I ended up laying down all day until I filmed Britt Says. So yeah. So actually, today is go to the grocery store, cook some damn Thanksgiving meal. Like that's what I want to do. Yeah, pretty much. For me, he only cook Nigerian food. I don't like all Nigerian food. I'm very vocal about that. I like stewed chicken. I like egusi soup. I like jollof. I love fufu. It's like this fried dumpling. Sweet. It reminds me of sugar dumpling. We call it like West Indians call it sugar dumpling, but theirs is a little more softer. What else I like? Suya. Yeah, a little bit. And that's it for now. I think that's the only things that I like. But you know what? It's not even I don't like it. I don't like when Femi cook it. I'm gonna be honest, bitch. And I told him that to his face. He be making some other shit. Like he don't be cooking it like his ancestors, bitch. When he cook, he don't be putting his heart in it. I be telling him that he be cooking too fucking fast. Me, I take my time when I cook. Like I take my time. I'm a very slow cooker. Like me, when I cook dinner, I have to start cooking at 5, like depending on what I'm gonna cook, and it's gonna be finished by 7, 8. Like yes, very much so. Like I like to slow cook, season, marinate, cut the onions, cut the peppers. Like it needs to be cooked with love so it can have some taste. Femi just be just throwing shit in the pot, bitch. I can't. So me and him, see, y'all be wanting y'all wife to go work, and y'all can't handle the motherfucking heat, bitch. Okay, do you want a housewife or do you want a working woman? Cause my working ass not finna come home after work and be cooking no motherfucking dinner, bitch. I ain't built for it. Maybe some days, you know, it's only been 2 weeks, so it's taking me a lot of time to get acclimated. He be trying. He cooked some fucking okra soup, bitch. I didn't like it. He be trying. And see, no cultural differences. So we gotta meet each other halfway. He gonna help me prep it and stuff. So we're gonna cook together. Fine. You know you gotta figure shit out. So then I gotta make space in the fridge to put all this fucking food. Girl, it gotta be a better way. So yeah, that's the story of my current life. Shout outs to all the women out there who go to work and come home and cook dinner. You're amazing. Shout outs to you. You're everything and more. But I mean, I can do it probably because I did do it for myself when I lived on my own at Wilson. Sometimes I would come home and cook dinner. Yes, I did. But I also would go to work late and I would cook before I went to work. And when I come home, my dinner was ready. So, I mean, it depends. It depends. Like, it depends on the vibes. Like, I'm not feeling the vibes. But, I mean, if you guys do it, let me know. You know, we just trying to make it work. Trying to figure it out. I'm not feeling the outside food. The outside food is not serving the girls lately, like I told y'all. So, that's the current story of my life. What else has been going on? Nothing much, really, that I could, like, really think of. But yeah. And as it pertains to scuttlebutt, y'all not gonna always be against scuttlebutt. I'm gonna be completely motherfucking honest with y'all asses. Because the thing is, see, I don't be seeing that interested on the internet like that. Like, it is very seldom. So what I'm gonna do, like, it is very seldom. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, some stuff be interesting, not always. And like, I went from having like 5 or 6 things to talk about to now only being like 3 or 2. And I don't know why. Like, I was like, is it because I'm not, like I said this before, like, as interested in the celebrities, our current day celebrities? Or am I not, some of the stuff is just not that interesting. The only time it's interesting when it's like thrown in your face so much. So what I'm gonna do is come up with like different segments for the show, and I'm excited about it. Yes, I've been very organized with Britt Says lately. Like, I have mad topics lined up for y'all. I have a lot of time, not a lot of time, but enough time on my hands at work. So while I'm at work, when I got my free time, I just started writing down episodes or whatever. What I need to do is write down some segments because I want to keep it fun and interesting. But I can't promise scuttlebutt every week. I just can't. And I want to like pre-record some episodes too. And a lot of potters don't even, some of them do it. And some of them, those are some of the most successful ones, like The Read. But they also been around like 10 years, I heard. Which I was like, oh my gosh, they've been around for so long. They do the gossip segment. Who else? The Friend Zone don't even do a gossip segment. It was a podcast I was thinking of. Like, some podcasts I watch, they don't do gossip. Gossip is good, but I'm gonna come up with some good stuff. Some of them just jump into the damn topic, or they just talk about their life or funny stories. Oh, I should probably do that. Oh my gosh, the podcast would be so long. All right. I'm gonna see what I could do for y'all. And shout outs to the potters who just come up here and run their fucking mouth. I do that as well, but they do it without a topic. Like, I'm talking about podcasts, like people who like go on a podcast and then they just start talking, like that type of thing. Like, so shout outs to people like that, or whatever the case may be. So I'm coming with some segments, some new segments for y'all, or whatever the case may be. I may not need them, but I would like them. And what else I got for y'all? Yeah, I just want to put that out there. So it's gonna be a lot of change. Only somebody like my crazy ass would make a change on a podcast in the middle of the goddamn year. Not even the middle. The middle was June. Like, bitch, 8 months into the year, you want to change your podcast. Like, usually people come into the new year like, it's January, it's 2022, and this podcast is revamping. Like, no, bitch, not with me, bitch. I very much do me. Period. But I was, you know what's funny? Okay, see, we talking about stories. Just at the age of fucking 29, just like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, Brittany, like, I changed my favorite color. Like, I used to think my favorite color was blue, but my favorite color is dead ass black. Like, I'm dead ass serious. Like, my favorite color is dead ass black. It is not blue. My favorite color is not fucking blue. Like, okay, let's put it this way. If you give me the option between blue, orange and yellow, I'm gonna pick blue. Yes. So I always grew up thinking my favorite color was blue. Like, if there's an option for blue, I'm probably gonna pick blue. Yes. Like, out of all, like, blue, pink, white. Blue. Give me the blue, please. Like, that type of thing. But in the overall grand scheme of things, I realized I've always liked the color black. Like, even if you come in my apartment, my theme always has a hint of black. Like, my dresser drawer is black, my TV stand is black. Then I have gray sheets or whatever the case may be. But I always put elements of black. My kitchen, remember when I told you I did my kitchen over, is black and white. Okay? My living room is black. Is black. I would say black and white too. Yeah, black and white, basically. It's black and white. Or whatever the case may be. Like, I like fucking black. Like, and I remember growing up, this sounds weird, and R. Kelly really put a demonization on the on a black room. But I wanted a room that was black and gold. Like, for real. But then, you know, as I got older and understand lighting, that would be really hard to pull off. Like I said, if I ever get a house, I want to get a black room. But now, you know, black rooms, I didn't know black rooms affiliated with demonic, kinky shit. I ain't into that, honey. But I even wanted a black Christmas tree at one point. No, I wanted a white Christmas tree and it'd be black decoration. So I have a thing with black, and it's not in a demonic way. It's just black is just so elegant. It doesn't get dirty. It's sexy. It's sharp. It's professional. Like, it could be anything. You can make it professional. You can even make black fun. You can make black sexy. You can make black is a standout color. Like, I don't know if you guys seen, like, they'll paint one wall black and the other walls will be like white. Like, it's a standout color. It's very, like, when you do something black, it's like, wow, black. You know what I'm saying? In New York City, everybody wear black, bitch. But exactly, like, black is that girl. So I just came to terms the other day, like, Brittany, your favorite color might be black. Like, I really think that. Like, I always used to get blue stuff, like, but I think my favorite color is black. Yeah, I do. But whatever. Random. Maybe I will be doing good at this random ass shit. But yeah, I came to terms with that the other day. I was like, you love black. I think, and I don't know, I was like, does the average person love black? I don't think so, though. Like, I feel like Californians don't love black. Like, they love color. People, like, from Florida, I don't feel like they, like, you would find mad people from Florida, like, my favorite color is black. Like, I don't think that's common, so. Yeah. Random. Anyways, what are we talking about today? Today, we're talking about how to do things alone. How to do things alone. How to be alone. How to embrace being by yourself. And what made me think of this topic is because I've been noticing lately, like, the discussion of, like, vacationing alone, going out to eat alone, going to the movies alone, like, just people doing things alone, mostly vacationing alone. And I've been seeing that conversation, like, this is why I vacation alone, because I asked X, Y, and Z to come with me, and blase, boom, boom, and bing, bing, bing. Me, I'm at the point, I haven't vacationed, well, I'm capping. I just went to Minnesota, and I went to Virginia Beach. I've been traveling domestic. But, let's say, per se, people invite me on vacations and stuff, and I'm just like, if it's more than one person with me, meaning 3 or more, bitch, I am not interested. And I actually always wanted to vacation alone, because the thing with vacationing with people is that people personality is so fucking flip-floppy. People be having a bad day. I don't know, somebody probably be done text they ass while we on the trip. We went somewhere to eat and they didn't want to go somewhere to eat. Then you got the person who just want to run the show, probably me. And some people don't want to do the activities you want to do. Sometimes people want to sleep, which is fair, you know. Sometimes vacation is really for relaxation and just being able to go away and sleep somewhere and get sleep. Some people, like parents, you know, they got their kids in the house always yelling and screaming, and their husband asking them to cook and clean, and you gotta go to work and you gotta do this. So they just going on vacation to literally get some rest and just to get away from their scenery. So that to me is a little different, and I get when some people do that. They'll just stay in the hotel, maybe have room service ordered to them, and maybe they'll go take a walk. But I get that, you know. So I get sometimes people want to relax. Me, I'm not like that. If you follow me on Instagram, even when you see me going out on vacation recently, you'll see that I'm very much adventurous. Like, and it's not about clubbing. Like, people be like, oh, when we go, like, I remember my friend was like, honestly, you know, if we go on vacation, we mad, or we not going to the club. I said, bitch, ain't nobody ever said we was going to the club. It's not about clubbing. Clubbing is not all about vacation. Obviously, in your 20s, you thinking about going to the club when you go on vacation. I'm talking about seeing monuments, going to the museum, going to the local park, seeing the waterfall, like, going to restaurants, doing activities that are not dangerous and can kill you. But things like that to me is fun. Like, and it's just cheap. Going to the aquarium, you know, it's not about going out to the clubs and stuff like that. It's about having fun. Laying on the beach is fun to me too. Sometimes I could just do that every day, just sit on the sand and look at the damn water. That could take up my whole goddamn vacation. But sometimes you go on vacation with people and they just want to sit in the room all day. I mean, like I said, I guess sometimes people just want to relax. But for me, depending on where we vacationing, bitch, I'm not finna go to the Bahamas and sit in the hotel room. We not doing that. You telling me I paid $800 to sit in a hotel room? You could have booked the fucking hotel in your state for the fucking low, or you could have just went somewhere cheaper, way cheaper. Like, what's somewhere probably cheap? Like, I'm thinking of being in New York. You could have probably bought a ticket to Boston, got maybe a cheaper hotel in Boston, and just still got that mental relaxation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to the Bahamas to sit in a fucking hotel all day. I'm not doing that shit with you. Also, sometimes people come out, they don't got no fucking money. Motherfucker be broke. That be fucking up the vibes, because then, you know, now we can't do certain activities, or maybe you might have to pitch in, maybe you might have to do different things. And it's like, all in all, vacations with too many people come with too many problems. And just the way we get older and we don't want to maybe club anymore, or maybe do certain activities that we used to do. When you get older, you don't want to deal with bullshit on vacation. You don't, and also too, sometimes timing. Sometimes you'll be like, I want to do a vacation in fucking April 2022, right? Then people like, oh, I can't go, I can't do this. So because people can't go somewhere, you're not gonna go. Because nobody wants to go with you, you're not gonna go, because that happens a lot too. Sometimes you invite people and nobody wants to go, but you really want to go, and you really don't want to wait, because if you wait, it's no guarantee that those people will actually go with you. So those are other things you have to consider. Like, it's so many things that come along with it, and because so many of those factors come along with traveling in groups, I think it's important for us to learn how to travel alone. Being in a relationship, being in a marriage, even though I feel like, for instance, me and my husband, we have jobs, we work differently. Sometimes I definitely want to travel alone, because I can't wait on Femi all the time. I could wait. I could. Yes, I can. I'm capping. But sometimes you ever just want a vacation. Like, you just want to go away. Like, I do think it looks bad. Like, so some people, it looks bad if you go on vacation without your man, or whatever the case may be. But what if they really can't call off for work or something, like, and you, for some weird reason, like, they like, yo, I can't. Oh, you're supposed to wait. I guess that's a topic of discussion. Like, is it appropriate to go on vacation alone and you're married or in a relationship? If you just in a relationship, you got a boyfriend, you could go on vacation alone. I'm sorry. Like, you can't, cause when you got a boyfriend, you don't even know how long this shit finna last, bitch. Now you ain't going on vacation waiting on this nigga. You feel me? But when you committed, so some people, it looks bad because it's like, why you going on vacation alone? Are y'all about to fucking divorce? Are y'all about to break up, bitch? Or it's like, are you actually on vacation alone? Did you go with a fucking side piece or something? Like, what is he or she really doing out there? It just gives very suspicious vibes, which I understand, I guess. But that's the other thing, like, we can't live for what people think. Like, it's not what the fucking story is, it's what the truth is. And I'm not trying to learn that. I have learned that, you know. For me, like I said, like, I feel like a lot of times, and that's including with traveling alone, is that we kind of think too much about how people view things. Like, a lot of times people won't do stuff alone because they're like, oh, if I go to a restaurant alone, people are gonna think I'm fucking lonely and I'm a weirdo and I'm depressed and I can't get a man or a woman or a partner or whatever, right? That's the reason why you don't want to do something alone, because you're scared of how people are gonna view you. It does, and the storylines that they might create. It doesn't fucking matter what people think of what you're doing. It's about the truth. If you're going on vacation alone because you just wanted to go on vacation alone, or you wanted to go out to eat alone, or you wanted to do God knows what a fucking alone, oh fucking hey. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, maybe you dead just wanted to go alone. There's no story behind it. Like, motherfuckers too, when you do shit alone, they be like, oh my gosh, they're depressed, they're trying to heal. And it don't even be that. You just like, I want to do some shit. Like, especially when I wasn't working and my man was working, I used to go and do shit by myself because, I mean, he's working. Like, I'm bored in the house. Like, I'm going to go outside. Like, I literally am doing stuff alone because I'm bored. What happens when you're just bored? Like, and a lot of you guys and us, we would miss out on things because we so worried about what people think. You know, and this is a common topic of discussion, you know. We're so worried about how people will view us for doing something alone. And, like, at this age and this time, this is not a time to be worrying about what people think about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it doesn't matter. Like, people love to create a storyline. Like, I mean, I do it. We all do it. I think I spoke about this on the podcast. Like, we all sometimes will view things and be like, why did they do that? But lately I don't do that. Like, if I see somebody vacation alone, I'm like, I'm actually envious of them. Well, I don't like to say envy, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, I always wanted to do that. Like, oh my gosh, like, they went on vacation alone. I actually like watching like vlogs like that. Like, I went to Blase alone and this is what happened, or this is what I did. And like vlogs teaching people how to travel alone and stuff like that. I love that. I thrive on that. Like, I love that type of stuff. Like, it speaks volumes about a person who would travel or do stuff alone. Like, and I feel like top 5 people who be creating storylines is the same motherfuckers that could never do the shit that people do. You so insecure about yourself that you trying to project insecurity on that person, or depression, or sadness, or fucking, I don't know what else y'all motherfuckers be trying to push on people when they do shit by themselves. That's how you feel inside, and you trying to project that onto them because you could never do what they do. You could never put your fucking foot or put your hands on a fucking laptop to book a trip by yourself. You could never. And that's why you feel like, oh, something gotta be wrong with this person. No, something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. Cause you so scared to be on your own. Cause you so worried about what motherfuckers think. Now, there's key factors that play a role, right? Safety. I remember when I went to Cali alone, I was scared in a hotel by myself. Sometimes I get scared in the house by myself when I'm in the house by myself sometimes, you know? So yeah, safety is an issue. I just feel like, if you drive, probably rent a car. If you're scared to get Ubers alone or cabs alone. What else? When you out, try not to get too drunk on your own. Even though I know you might want to, but you gotta remember you're by yourself. You You could talk to people, but I wouldn't recommend like going places with people. I think like going to somebody's house, traveling with people, they might pickpocket you, beat your ass, bitch. Like you could kiki, but keep it cute. Like kiki and then leave. Like ha 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 ha. All right, later. Like don't start going mad places with them and shit. Like I don't know. You gotta feel the vibes, you know. But even sometimes you can feel a vibe and the motherfuckers still be crazy out the country and shit like that. So yeah, safety is definitely an issue. It is definitely a topic of discussion. With traveling alone. I think it's just how you move. Like don't move like scary. Like just move like, oh, I want to go see this, I want to go do that. Do shit that's safe. Like go look up like top 10 things to do in Turks and Caicos and go do it. Like usually those things that are like on those sites are affiliated with a company. You're gonna see mad tourists there too doing it, so you might feel a little more safe. You could go to the beach, but just don't be up under people. Get you a fucking fanny pack so you don't get fucking pickpocket. Don't carry mad bread on you and all that stuff. Like stay alert. Try not to be doing drugs and all that shit. Like stay alert. You're alone even when you're not on vacation. Like you know to be alert when you're by yourself. Like try to be alert, you know, or whatever the case may be. So I know that safety is an issue, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are scared to travel alone. But like I said, it's all about just being alert, making better decisions. I know sometimes you get a little tipsy. If you get tipsy, try to get tipsy, like try to get pre-tipsy, but then have a bottle in your room to get to the level in which you want. So like if you want to go out and drink, that's cute, but then get home and finish it off. Don't finish it off at the spot, finish it off at the crib. You get what I'm saying? So that's my recommendations for safety or whatever the case may be, because I know that's why a lot of people really wouldn't travel alone, because they're scared. But people do it every day, and just try not to travel at night. Like, yeah, like what are you doing outside at night? Like stop, for real. Like for real. Like if you want to be on a resort, maybe, but yeah, it should be no reason you outside at night, especially alone. Like unless you want to go to the clubs at night alone, but you should be taking a cab to the club and a cab back. You shouldn't be roaming the streets at night. Ain't nothing never good going on after midnight. You ever heard that term? So like, yeah, definitely, like certain stuff is just common sense. Like, yeah, if you're gonna travel alone, you have to take certain precautions. Like, yeah, some of the stuff you would do in a group setting, you can't do alone. That's just something that comes with it, unfortunately. Like, if you want to be top shotta, start wilding out in different countries, knowing you by yourself, that's on you, sis. But you gotta, I guess is that a con that you can't be as hyphy as you want if you're not in a group? Because you can't. I mean, you can if you want to be in danger. But yeah, for safety reasons, I believe you shouldn't do some of the things you would feel comfortable doing in a group setting. You just can't do that, sis. Like, you just can't do it. So, yeah. All right, so now that we kind of like dived very, very deep into the topic, you know what we like to do before most topics? We like to expand our minds. Expand your mind, expand your mind, expand your mind. So, in an article titled 7 Tips for Getting Comfortable with Being Alone on bustle.com, written by Marlon Kmar, writes, there's a bit of stigma when it comes to doing things alone. Those people that are out eating desserts and nursing cocktails alone during evenings must be friendless. The ones sitting on festival lawns solo or traveling across state lines without company must have a pretty lonely life. Or how about those select few that buy popcorn for one at the theaters or book tours without a buddy to loop arms through? They probably own cats, many cats. While those might be the outdated thoughts that circle around tables for one, you and I both know that's not really true. Stepping out without your squad doesn't mean the squad doesn't exist to begin with. It just means you're comfortable enough with your own thoughts and company to hang out alone. But sometimes that's easier said than done. While some of us are completely content with the company of a book or activity of people watching, the rest of us could be thrown in a panic attack over the prospect of spending an evening alone in public. For those of you that fall into that latter, these tips are for you. Here are 5 easy tips on how to get comfortable with going out alone. Yes. All right, so we basically summed that up in the beginning of the episode, and I just love the way that it was written, because this is really, you know, how people think like, oh, he or she must not have any friends. And it's like, no, I got a whole friend group. I just want to be alone. They might not have a man. No, I have a man. He just get on my nerves this week, bitch. Or that nigga ain't home. His ass at work and I'm unemployed. What if I was when I was a housewife? My good days, bitch. And I didn't think about that. Like, people who get like alone, they get so nervous about being alone, they might go into a panic attack. That's hilarious. That's not hilarious. It's not funny. But let's see what the 5 tips are, and let's like kind of dive into it. Oops, I skipped 2 of them. Okay. I don't see one. Oh, here it is. Okay, this one is interesting. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. It says, number 1, remember that no one really cares you are alone. I think that's cap. But let's see what they say. One of the main reasons people feel weird about doing things alone is because they think everyone within a 5-mile radius is judging them. False. Even if someone notices you, they're probably not thinking about your lack of a partner. Sure, the stigma about being alone exists, maybe, but 9 times out of 10, people probably aren't giving you much thought. I still think that's a little bit of cap, because I have been out with people and they'll be like, oh my gosh, they're alone. So I think sometimes people say something about it and people do think about it, but I know me, when I see people eating alone, I'm like, oh, they're a vibe. Like, that's just me though. Obviously, if you post that you're somewhere alone, if you want to post on social media, people are going to make a conversation about it. I don't give a fuck what people say. People talk, people run their mouth. I think that people definitely are thinking about it and creating a storyline behind it, but it's up to you not to give a fuck. 2, remember that you can always leave. That's a good idea, right? Just because you've committed to going solo doesn't mean you have to stick it out the whole way through. Say you're going to a party all alone, but think there's a possibility you might start feeling too awkward an hour in. No one says you have to sit through the small talk or continue to hover outside of conversation circles. Just grab your coat and leave when it feels like it's too much. The same goes with any other situation. Did you begin to feel bored while having a drink by yourself, or start to feel a little funny at a friend's happy hour? Just dip out. No one's stopping you. That's true, right? So if you do decide to go out alone, you can leave whenever the fuck you feel like it. You know, as soon as you start getting awkward, even if you don't make it in, and the fact that you tried, you know, that's a fact. When you by yourself, you don't gotta worry about, oh, I'm ready to go. Or, oh, I'm ready to go, but I can't leave because I came with this person. I gotta ride with this person and they not ready to go. Like, you can go whenever the fuck you feel like it. You could come and go as you please. So if you start feeling a little lonely, now you start getting in your bag, bitch, you could go. You could get up. You can leave. You go out to eat. You be like, you know what? I wanted to stay here and eat, but you know what? I'm going to take it to go because I just got an important phone call and Bazzy wants me there if you want to make up a lot. Or you could be like, I did want to stay here and eat, but can you pack it to go? Like, you don't even got to give a reason. So that's true. That to me is a plus, bitch. That's a big plus. Okay? Is that you could get up and go as you please. If you start feeling a little weird, feeling a little awkward, not feeling the vibes, bitch, you could be like, oh, this shit is a dub. Deuces, and you ain't looking to your right, you ain't looking to your left, you looking to your front. And you're getting up and you're going. Period. I love that. All right, number 3, it says, allow yourself a cheat. Okay. What's the first thing we reach for when we're uncomfortable? Our phones. What's a great distraction tool from nervously glancing around a room? the room, a book. How can you keep your mind occupied off the fact that you have no one to talk to? A crossword puzzle. There's no shame in distracting yourself in the beginning until you get comfortable with the idea of just sitting there and blatantly people watching or hanging out with your own thoughts. Yeah, that's definitely a good one too. The first time I ever went out to eat alone, I brought a book to read. And that's also too, doing things alone is a good way to get things done. Like when I go out alone, I'm like, okay, I want to keep myself busy, I guess. I'll write, I'll journal, I might come up with ideas, plans, super way more organized, figure out math stuff. Like, oh my gosh, when you sit alone with yourself, with your thoughts, and they're productive, because yeah, you can sit alone with your thoughts and they're intrusive, but when they're productive, bitch, when you set your mind out. So that's another thing too, like when you plan on going out alone, and I know some people don't want to do that, they just want to chill, but sometimes if it's like your first time like going out and doing something alone, try to come up with something you're going to do when you're out alone. Like for me, I used to tell you I struggle with journaling, so when I would go out alone, I'm like, when I go out alone today, I'm going to journal. Like, or if you like me, when I'm at work, I'm usually like by myself in the front, so I'm like, I'm gonna write down mad episodes for Britt Says, right? And you could just like look around your surroundings and you're gonna come up with mad ideas, mad things, like just so much stuff. Like come up with, you know, I don't know, a business plan or a savings plan. I've been coming up with that too, like just bills and credit cards like that I want to pay down and things like that, and ways to do it. Like come up with something that you've always been trying to do. It doesn't have to be business related, that's what I want to say, business plan. Like it could just be self related, like finances, like things you want to do differently, or I don't know, like maybe you want to redecorate something, like or write down reminders, things, write down a checklist of things you need to do. You know how you sometimes you got so much things to do and you be like, I'm gonna write down a checklist of all the things I need to do. Like maybe when you go out alone, be like, I'm gonna write down a checklist of all the things I need to do, and maybe give myself a deadline. You may not reach the deadline, but it's very productive and organized that you actually like put a plan in place. And I think that when you're alone and you sit down and you're alone by yourself, you get mad shit done. Keep it a buck. When you actually like in a focus mode, because when you in your house alone and you got the TV, you got all these distractions, you can't really be in a focus mode sometimes. But like when you take yourself out to eat because you don't want to be worried about people viewing you being lonely, you're gonna get mad shit done, like dead ass. So before you go out alone and do anything, if you want, try to come up with something that you need to like write down or get done. That's not too big of a task. Like I don't want you, well bitch, if you want to do that, if you want to write a book or something, bitch, start chapter 1. Like I don't know. So yeah, look, it says, I always carry, this person said, I always carry a small paperback book with me or a little notebook and pencil, so if I ever find myself waiting for someone or deciding to do the afternoon solo, I have my little cheats, so they call them little cheats, that will ease me into the situation. All right, number 4, pick something to focus on. I just said that. So let me say what they wrote. Say you're going to lunch alone. Sure, you can distract yourself with a book or text your friend all through the chicken sandwich, or you can take it as a chance for some introspection. If you head outside with a game plan of what to think about, you'll feel more confident and productive sitting in one place. Maybe you want to go on a trip this year, whether big or small. Maybe you want to think of a career move or set yourself some personal character goals. Find a topic to dissect in your head and then give yourself that hour or 2 alone to go through it step by step. Like I said, I 100% agree with this. I like to like, planning a trip. Like even too, if you got money, when you alone, think of like, okay, I'm gonna ask for work this vacation time, or if you don't need to book vacation time, or book a trip. Like get real crazy, bitch. Like get real crazy. Like for real, get in your bag. Like imagine like booking a fucking trip or whatever. So try to do stuff like that. And I don't recommend texting alone while you're alone. Like I feel like, all right, okay, I get it. Like just because you're alone doing something doesn't mean you can't text your friends. But I think you are, just because you're doing something alone, it doesn't have to be like a self-healing thing. I don't. I think we should just normalize doing stuff alone. Like, not going out to eat shouldn't have to be a thing you do with somebody. Going to the movies, going on vacations. We need to normalize that these things are okay alone, because at the end of the day, they're things you can do alone. Literally, like, you can, nobody's gonna say, oh, you're by yourself, you can't go. Like, nobody's gonna do that. Nobody's gonna say, oh, you're by yourself, you can't book a flight. Like, you can't stay in this hotel alone. Like, nobody's gonna say that. So we need to normalize that being normal. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I don't want to say don't text while you're alone, because then it's making it seem like, oh, eating out alone is this big thing, I don't even want to text anybody. But I feel like, to an extent, when you do stuff alone too, sometimes you do want to be alone. Like, you just want your own space and freedom. Like, you want your own space, you want your own freedom, you want your own me time. So sometimes, like, people be calling me, I be hitting the ignore button. The text, you gotta wait. You better fucking hope I ain't outside all day goofing the fuck around. Yeah, you gotta create those boundaries. If you want to go out alone and you want to answer text messages and stuff, there's nothing wrong with that too. Because sometimes people just, like, if they're hungry, especially people with money, when they're hungry, they're not gonna, like, you know how, like, if you out and you're hungry, you probably gonna go to, like, a fast food spot real quick, pick up something to eat. For people with, like, with money, they'll go to a restaurant, order their favorite food from a restaurant. So might as well just sit down and eat that shit. Like, I don't know. And I guess because it's like, what I'm basically trying to say, like, what if you literally went out alone on some random shit? It wasn't because you wanted to be alone. Then yeah, you could text and do whatever, I guess. But yeah, going out alone and going in it with a game plan. I don't want to make it a strategic thing, but I think it's a good idea. I think in general it's just a good idea, because sometimes it's so hard to be focused and just to get so many things done. I think life consumes us with so much shit that when you're alone and you're alone, focused alone on a focus type shit, you should definitely try to get at least something done. It doesn't have to be a big task. And I ask you to fucking, I don't know, build a Fortune 500 company. If you want to, you can. I'm just saying, I think it's definitely a good way to, like, get things done. Hell yeah. Number 5. What's number 5? Okay, number 5. Realize the advantages of going solo. Yes. We are so used to being in crowds and surrounding ourselves with friends that we don't really question what the downside of having company could be. But if you want to teach yourself to do things on your own, listing the benefits of going solo during these activities could be motivation enough to go through with it. For example, one benefit is that you can do exactly what you want to do. You don't have to consult with anyone or check in on anyone's feelings but your own. You want to eat that whole giant brownie instead of dinner? Go for it. You want to spend 5 hours shopping one sale section? The afternoon is yours. Oh my God. That's okay. Shopping, I mean, I'm pretty sure mad people shop alone, so that's not, like, uncommon. But yeah, I don't like going shopping with people, because I feel like going shopping with people is just a bad idea in general, because I feel like everybody shops differently. So let's say I take mad long to find an outfit, a person might be like, oh my gosh, she's taking mad long. Or what if you invite somebody to come to the mall with you and they ain't bring no money, they don't got no money, and they just with you while you buying mad shit? It's a weird feeling. So I just like shopping alone for the most part. Sometimes you might run into the mall or whatever and be with somebody, but yeah, shopping is definitely something I feel like people should do alone. I don't know why people do it in groups, unless you like going shopping for something like Christmas shopping, maybe shopping for the kids, things of that nature, I guess. But if it's just like you just shopping, bitch, and you bring somebody and you don't know their situation, I think it's a bit, it just gets weird. That's all I think. But anyway, you should definitely think of the advantages of being alone. I don't think you need to list them, but just think of it. Like I said earlier, you can literally get up and go as you please. Like, I know some of y'all probably gonna say time like, I'm gonna get up and go as I please, whether I'm with anybody or not, period. Fuck out of here. And respectfully, but you know, ain't gonna come with some bad energy. Like, sometimes, yeah, you could do whatever the fuck you want, by all means, all the time. But will it maybe come with some fucking consequences behind it? Yes. Keep it a fucking 100. You could go somewhere with your friends or your family and decide to leave, right? And say, I'm not feeling the vibes, I'm out, I'm dipping. And it might come with some consequences behind it, like, oh, Brittany, I didn't like when you got up and left mad early, like, like, it may rarely happen. Or maybe motherfuckers might stop inviting you places because you done did shit more than one time, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, we all can do what we want. We all can move how we want. But when we do it in groups, it does sometimes come with consequences. And sometimes we don't give a fuck about the consequences. Sometimes we do. It just all depends on you. One of the advantages of like being alone, once again, is that you're not, like, I don't know. I never thought about that. Like, me, when I go out to eat, I'm gonna eat what the fuck I want to eat. I don't know. Like, oh, I'm gonna order this big brownie. Like, bitch, if I want to eat a brownie, I'm gonna eat a brownie. But I guess for some people, you know, people worry about things like that, and that's fair. You're open to worry about whatever you want to worry about. What else? You basically just have independence. You're by yourself. Like, bitch. That's the advantage, period. There's no more to it but to do it, bitch. A lot of people do find that as a disadvantage though, right? Because one of the top things of vacationing, for instance, in a group, is you save mad money, right? You could get, you basically, you're gonna all have to pay your own air flight, but as it pertains to like hotel rooms, you're gonna save mad money. Because let's say you want to get a suite with 3-bedroom or whatever, that shit cost, well, obviously, okay, that was a bad thing. You're not gonna get 3-bedroom for yourself, by yourself. But even these hotels be like $200 a night, and it'll just be a room with a king in it. So if you do a vacation with like 5 people and y'all even get a suite that could sleep all of y'all, you're probably gonna spend what, maybe $400, $500, $600 the max, maybe $1,000, I don't know, on, well, $1,000 is a stretch, maybe $400, $500 for housing on vacation, right? So if you go alone, you'll probably spend $1,000. Let's say it's what, $250 a night, and you want to stay 7 days, you're gonna spend mad money on hotel fees, period. Or you could get an Airbnb. Some people don't like Airbnbs, or you might have to get some cheap shit. If you go on vacation with your friends, y'all don't gotta get nothing cheap. Or you could go cheap if you like to do cheap shit. You know, it's up to you. I like to stay in nice places. So, but yeah, that definitely could be a con, is spending more money. That's just the reality of it. You gotta talk about the cons. Money is a con, I guess. You know, having to spend more money can be a con. Anyway, moving on. Number 6, do things you're really excited about. Exactly. Say you got to the bottom of this list and you're still not convinced. You guys should be convinced. Let's be honest. You can't imagine sitting somewhere alone, your nose awkwardly buried in your phone as you try to pretend you're not inside out comfortable, to motivate yourself to leave the house alone. Do something you're crazy excited about. This will get you moving, sans friends, because you're super pumped about the prospect of it. Maybe there's a movie out you've been waiting years for and there's no one willing to see it with you. If you're jazzed enough about it, you won't have enough room to feel weird about the fact you're doing it in sans pals. For example, I've mentioned before, I sometimes feel a little vulnerable grabbing drinks by myself, but I never ever feel odd sitting in a cupcake bakery, taking up a booth and inhaling a red velvet cupcake. I can sit there for hours, just people watching and eating cream cheese frosting. The reason? Because I'm passionate about my sweet tooth and having too great a time to care. I'm having too great of a time to care. Okay. Yeah, do things you want to do. I think people are still scared to do things they're really excited about. Like, For instance, like movies, I've done that several times. I went to see what's this shit called? Black Panther by myself because everybody was talking about it and I was just getting impatient, and then one day I just went. I went by myself to see it. I feel like, is it me or is going to the movies by yourself not that uncommon? Is it? I don't know. I just feel like that's something people would do. But then again, I think I've talked to people and they never seen a movie by themselves, so maybe I'm just making that up. But anyway, I went to go see Black Panther by myself because I remember the last time I went to go see a movie with my friends, plan a movie trip with my friends. Nobody had time to go. Then one time I planned to go to the movies with my cousins. Both of these bitches showed up late. We went to the movie theater on 14th Street. And then they took mad long to show up. And the movie was full. I can't even remember which movie it was. And I tried to save the seats for them. And then it turned into this big thing. I was like, oh, these seats is for somebody. It was like, oh, you guys can't save seats. Blah, 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 blah. They call security. It was too much. So I was just like, you know what? Sit the fuck down. Because these bitches shouldn't have been late. They was late. Like probably missed the first 15 minutes of the movie. And I was just like, this is why I gotta just start learning how to do stuff by myself too. And I went to see Black Panther, so I'm gonna go see Black Panther. That was mad good. RIP to Chadwick Boseman. And another movie I went to go see was Get Out by myself, which was a bad idea. I made a vlog about that. My friend Keisha gonna tell me that, oh, you could see it by yourself, it's not that scary. I was scared. And I saw it in the daytime and I was still scared, but I loved the movie. It was really, really good. Going to the movies for me, that one is not hard. Like, I'll go to the movies right now, bitch, to be honest. Like, that one, I don't know. That's probably like, I feel like it's dark in there. Nobody's paying you any fucking mind. Like, they're watching a fucking movie. I think that one is the least weird, to be honest. But I do know that a lot of people have never done that and don't feel comfortable doing that. But I think if you want to start off with doing something alone, I think the movies is a good start. Personally, like, you just buy the damn ticket online. You get some of these places, you get to pick your seat. Then after that, and then that's the good thing too, like, let's say you buy your ticket a little late, because I remember when I was buying tickets for Black Panther, all the seats were sporadic, and I was thinking like, damn, if I wanted to go with a group of people, we would struggle to find a seat to sit next to each other. But it was just me, so I was Gucci. Anyway, and no, it wasn't Black Panther. I think it was Get Out. Was it Black Panther or Get Out? I don't remember. No, it was Get Out. But when I went to go see Black Panther, because I went to go see it when it was like crazy, they wasn't allowing people to pick seats. So I went there to get a ticket, and he was like, is it just you? He was like, oh, you lucky. And then he found me a good seat because it was just me. Had it been like a group of people, he probably would have been like, y'all not going to be able to sit next to each other type shit. But anyway, yeah, just find something you like to do. That's a good example. Like, we don't mind eating at a bakery, eating a cupcake by ourselves. What's something... I feel like people don't mind eating at like maybe McDonald's or Taco Bell by themselves, but if it's like a restaurant, people like you feel a little weird about it, which is like, girl, like, yeah, do something you feel excited about by yourself. I don't know. Interesting. I feel like when you do like activities like museums and stuff by yourself, I don't know if it's me because I'm saying this, but I feel like people don't give a fuck if you do like museums and stuff by yourself. Maybe because I live in a fucking New York City. I don't know. Y'all, I don't know. People have to give me feedback on that. But yeah, try to do something you're very excited about. Next, 7. Occupy yourself with an activity. Okay, if you preoccupy yourself with an activity, you won't have time to notice your uncomfortableness. Go to a concert or a story reading. Buy tickets to a play or a mini golfing. Try taking a cycling class or pick up art classes. See, that's me again. Like, come on, you scared to go to a cycling class alone? Like, now we need to talk about fucking being insecure. Like, for real, like, working out, like, just like going to the gym alone. I went to a play alone because I had to go to a play, like 3 plays for my theater class when I was in college. So to me, that's normal. Go mini golfing, pick up art classes, like stuff like that. I don't feel like that's problematic. You're picking up a hobby. Like, you can't, like, some shit, real talk, is not meant for you to do with people all the time. Like, those are hobbies. Like, you need to have your own hobbies. I think it's also important too to have things that you dead ass do alone. Like, real talk. Like, this, like, when I see stuff like that, I get like where she's coming from in the article, but certain stuff it's okay to do alone. I think that we should all just normalize having a hobby that we do ourselves, and we don't need nobody to do it with us, and maybe that will make us feel comfortable doing mad shit alone, because you could go to the gym alone. Yeah, some people are dead ass like that. Like, they're like, oh, I really want to go to the gym, but I can't do it. Like, I need a gym partner. You know how people say that? I think they want an accountability partner, but some people just really want somebody to go to the gym with their ass. Like, dead ass. Like, or they want a trainer or something. Like, some shit, yeah, like, we need to have our own hobbies. Like, there's certain things you don't need to do with people. Even if going to the movies alone is your hobby, just watching movies, that can be a hobby. Going to an art class, picking up an art class, picking up a bike riding class, those to me are just hobbies. Those are not things that are required for people to do in a group or do with someone. But I'm happy that she brought it up, because there are dead ass people like that really feel like they need people to do every fucking thing with them. Like, they can't do shit alone. Like, I didn't even think about that. Like, I'm talking about vacationing alone and going out to eat on the movies alone. I just totally forgot about the market of motherfuckers that really don't feel comfortable doing anything alone. Like, there's dead ass a market for that. Like, they like to be up under motherfuckers. Like, for anything. Like, not everything requires people. Like, some stuff is okay. Like, it's literally not even like it's okay. It's like, that's regular day shit. Like, if you the type of person that you feel like you always gotta be up under somebody, whether it's a man, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, whether it's your mother, whether it's your father, whoever, or your grandma, like, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Huge, massive, colossal. Like, you shouldn't feel like you have to be doing something with somebody. Like, that's crazy. Like, I could imagine the amount of things you would miss out on life just because you feel like you got to do certain things by yourself. Like, it's probably people, okay, like, a paint and sip is not a big deal, but for you to, like, always want to do it and never do it because nobody wants to go with you is weird to me. Like, let's say I never did a paint and sip before, and I keep asking people to do it with me. I feel like that's something you can dead ass do by yourself. It's just, you're just painting something and sipping on wine. Or Henny, bitch. You know, they got Henny and paints and shit. But that's it. It's not that big of a deal. Like, sometimes people do go in groups and they be turned, but if I'm lit, period, per. Like, I totally forgot about people like that. Like, when she brought up a cycle class or pick up art class, I'm like, that shit you dead could do by yourself. Like, in a sense of, like, I felt like that was just, like, weird to bring up. But then I remembered, like, some people cannot do activities on their own. Like, things that I may find to be just a hobby. Like, do a dance. Like, some people wouldn't go to a dance class on their own. Like, you want to dance, then go dance. The fuck? You need somebody to do that with you that you know? You can make friends in a dance class. Like, so, yeah. All in all, let me see. That was the last one, number 7. But all in all, not wanting to be by yourself, not wanting to do things alone, is just an insecurity. You're scared, you're gonna get nervous, you care about people watching you. Just don't give a fuck about what people think about you. Don't give a fuck what people say about you. Like they said, they might not even be thinking about your ass. Motherfuckers be having 155 things on their mind. Even when they go out to eat in a group, we go out to eat in a group and we gossiping about mad other people and other shit. We not even focused on you. We don't care about you if you by yourself. Vacationing alone, that's a big one. Go out, go do it. It's probably mad places you want to go, mad things you want to do. Go and do it. Because life is short, okay? Like, it's long, but it's short, okay? And you need to live. Like, you need to live, experience things that you want to experience. Like, you don't want to live this life and be like, oh my gosh, I spend my time all in the city. Because, like, you can't blame other people for not doing the things that you could have done. Like, I hate people be like, yeah, I always wanted to go to blah, 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 but nobody ever wanted to go with me. Then go by your fucking self. Then no, you don't need nobody to go with you. Like, that's not an excuse not to do something. No. Make sure you go out. You could grow up and tell your kids or tell whoever, like, I did so much shit. I done went to Japan. I done went to Turks. Where else? I done went to Bali. I went to the Maldives. Like, you could just do anything. Anything. You could do anything by yourself. I know for a lot of people too, driving is a key factor. Because I know, like, my mother, she just wanted to go to Atlanta to, like, look at some stuff. Look at some houses. I mean, that's her business. But she's like, I don't got a car. Like, I need somebody to travel with. Like, because taxis out there probably be mad far depending on where you stay. Like, or whatever. So, I get that. But, so, if a license is holding you back. Because even sometimes they ask you, like, what made you want to get a license? Some people say for traveling. So, work on getting your license just for that. You don't need to get a license just to have a car. I mean, you should get some practice. Like, I think my brother said he wanted his license. Him and his wife wanted his license because they wanted to travel, which is important. So that's something to definitely work on just for that. Like, you don't have to have a car. Like, people don't just get licenses to own a car. But I think that's important too in traveling, because we talked about that with safety. And I think it's just a way to be able to get the most out of some places that you travel to. Like, to get the most out of it, and maybe save a little bit less money depending on how much rental fees are. That's one of my, like, recommendations, because I remember even too when I traveled in groups, we were spending mad money on Ubers and shit, even traveling in groups. But then the other thing too, when I was young, we want to drink. So if you're gonna get drunk as a fucking skunk bitch, then you gotta take a cab. You have to. So I mean, it was worth it. But if you're not going out there on no drunk time, then yeah, you know, that's one of my recommendations. And yeah, don't be scared to be alone. There's nothing, no shame, no nothing in being alone. You just fuck with you. You a vibe. Like, the fuck? You're a vibe. So obviously you're gonna fuck with you. Like, duh. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, because I definitely did. And yes, make sure you guys subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button. Make sure you follow me on Instagram _Brittstagram. And if you're streaming, make sure you leave a comment, leave a review, and 5 stars. And yeah, I'm gonna see you guys when next week. Bye.